Torchlight Infinite is back with a brand new season, and you know what that means. It's time to figure out which builds are hot and which ones are just not. This game has an insane amount of freedom when it comes to creating your perfect character, but let's be real, not every build can melt bosses or clear maps like a monster. Whether you're a hardcore grinder or just hopping in for some casual chaos, knowing the current meta can make all the difference. In this video, we're breaking down the best builds for every character in Torchlight Infinite. From the absolute top tier meta setups to the ones you might want to avoid if you value your sanity. So grab your loot, polish your gear, and let's jump straight into our ultimate Torchlight Infinite character tier list. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking characters in Torchlight Infinite. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Rihan 1, Carino 2, Carino 3, Fia 1, Fia 2, and Moto 1. You ever have that one character you really want to love, but the game just keeps saying, nope, not today? Yeah. Welcome to the C tier, also known as the play for fun or just avoid club. These builds can be fun, but let's be honest, you're gonna need a mix of patience, luck, and maybe a bit of denial to make them shine. Let's start with Rihan the Fury, version 1. This guy's rage meter makes him a total monster when it's full, swinging away with that classic melee fury and feeling like a tank. But once that berserk state ends, it's like the music stops at a party and everyone goes home. The downtime hits hard. With recent candle nerfs cutting his consistency even more, he's struggling outside his big damage window, and the lack of ranged options makes him feel pretty one-dimensional. Now, moving on to Carino version 2, the poster boy of decent but not dazzling. He's got smooth leveling, easy projectiles, and a nice introduction for new players who just want to shoot things and feel cool. But when you start comparing him to Carino's lethal flash build, he kind of fades into the background. His scaling doesn't keep up, and his trait effects feel more like polite suggestions than actual power boosts. Speaking of Carino, Carino version 3 tries to stand out with a mode switching mechanic that's honestly a neat idea. Switching between combat styles adds some tactical depth when it works. The problem is that his ammo and heat management system is way too punishing. You spend more time watching meters than enemies explode, and when your uptime falls apart, so does your damage. He's fun to experiment with, but not something you'd bring into a serious boss fight unless you like pain. Then there's Fia version 1, who's all about that blessing conversion gimmick. It's fun in theory. Turning blessings into power sounds divine, right? Sadly, the numbers just don't back her up. Her damage output is too low to hang with the meta crowd, and she struggles to sustain herself in tougher fights. Compared to Fia's Blasphemer version, this one feels like the awkward cousin who's trying their best but can't quite find their role at the family gathering. Finally, we've got Moto version 1, the classic minion commander. If you love sending your robotic buddies into battle, this one will scratch that itch. The problem? Those little AI minions have the attention span of a goldfish. They wander off, forget to attack, or just stand there doing nothing while you get stomped. Charge calling Moto completely overshadows this version, offering faster, burstier builds that actually listen when you tell them to attack. So yeah, these characters aren't unplayable. They just need a little love, a lot of patience, and maybe a candlelit prayer to the RNG gods. They're the I like pain choices of Torchlight Infinite. But hey, sometimes suffering is part of the fun, right? The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Selena 1, Erica 2, Yuga 2, Bing 1, Gemma 1, and Iris 1. You know that feeling when something's pretty good, not amazing, not terrible, just solid enough to keep you hooked. That's exactly what the B tier is all about. These are your decent picks that can be strong when built right. They might not melt bosses in seconds like the meta favorites, but with the right gear and a bit of love, they can absolutely pull their weight. Let's kick things off with Selena version 1, the queen of bubbles and strikes. Her layered combat system gives her an answer for almost every situation. She's flexible, flashy, and surprisingly tanky once you get the hang of her hybrid scaling. But here's the catch, she's not plug and play. Selena has a high skill floor, meaning you'll spend some time whiffing attacks and questioning your life choices before she starts to feel powerful. Without proper prism or bubble synergy, she can feel more like a juggling act than a power fantasy. Next up, Erica version 2, the definition of blink and you'll miss her. Her fast-paced multi-strike lightning combat is flashy, satisfying, and built for players who like to stay in motion. When everything clicks, she's a boss-melting machine. But there's a trade-off. Her sustained lives and dies by your gear quality, and her playstyle punishes mistakes hard. If you miss a dodge or mistime your lightning bursts, you're probably race spawning. She's basically a Ferrari, looks amazing, performs beautifully, but one bad turn and you're in a wall. Now, Yuga version 2 is where things get a little more methodical. This version absolutely shines in damage over time builds. Think flame jet, corrosion, time distortion, all those setups that thrive on controlled chaos. He's fantastic at locking down crowds and keeping enemies at a safe distance. The downside, he's pricey to scale. Between his mana demands and the need for high-end gear, new players might find him more frustrating than fun. But for veterans who love technical builds, he's a slow burn masterpiece. Moving on to Bing version 1, the bomb expert who loves to make everything explode. His area of effect detonation potential is huge once you learn how to properly stack bombs, and his combo loop is pretty beginner friendly after a bit of practice. The problem is, positioning is absolutely everything. A single mistimed detonation can ruin your entire burst cycle, and compared to some of the newer heroes, his setup feels a little clunky, like trying to pull off fireworks in a thunderstorm. Finally, we've got Gemma version 1 and Iris version 1 closing out the B tier lineup. Gemma is your dependable Frost Queen, reliable cold damage, great crowd control, and a nice progression curve. Her frostbite scaling keeps enemies frozen and you safe, but she struggles to keep up in endgame burst races unless you invest heavily in crafted gear. Iris, on the other hand, is the safe starter choice. Early game minions, low mechanical demand, and smooth mapping make her easy to love. But candle nerfs hit her durability hard, and her late game scaling hits a wall. Still, for casual players, she's a chill pick that gets the job done without too much fuss. So yeah, these are your steady performers. They won't break the game, but they won't break your spirit either. With the right setup, a little grind, and some patience, the B tier can absolutely surprise you, especially when everyone else underestimates them. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Gemma 2, Rosa 1, Karina 1, Yuga 1, Moto 2, and Rihan 2. Ever wonder what it feels like when a character just works? No awkward learning curves, no punishing gimmicks, just pure power that lets you steamroll through chaos. Welcome to the A tier of Torchlight Infinite, where builds aren't just strong, they're reliable, fun, and feel downright satisfying when you pull them off. Let's kick things off with Gemma version 3, the hybrid spellcaster extraordinaire. Mixing cold and fire spells makes her spell burst setups absolutely lethal, especially in group fights where her area of effect coverage can control the battlefield. The catch? She shares gear with other spell burst users, so getting her fully online isn't cheap, and juggling elements effectively demands some mechanical precision, but when you do it right, she's a total showstopper. Next, Gemma version 2 leans into team utility. Her purgatory zones weaken enemies and boost party damage, making her perfect for coordinated squads. She's the ultimate support hybrid, helping everyone shine a bit brighter. Solo though, she can feel clunky. Her area of effect control doesn't move her around the map much, and cooldown management is key to keeping her effectiveness high. Still, in the right hands, she's a powerhouse. Now, Rosa version 1 is the definition of durable. With her Holy Domain uptime, she pairs block and healing mechanics beautifully, shrugging off heavy area of effect damage like it's nothing. Her effectiveness hinges on grouping enemies and proper positioning, but once that's mastered, she becomes the team's backbone. She's one of those characters who makes you feel safe wading into the thick of battle. Carino version 1 is your go-to burst machine. Faster reloads, shotgun-style projectiles, and easy crit or ailment scaling make him deadly in any engagement. Positioning and aiming are critical. Miss a shot and that burst potential drops, and high mobility bosses can be a pain without proper gear. Still, his simplicity and scaling makes him a favorite for players who love seeing numbers explode fast. Then we have Yuga version 1, the lazy mage's dream. Creating a shadow double that auto-casts spells not only multiplies output, but also makes mapping safer and easier. The trade-off? High mana and gear dependency, plus the shadow AI can misfire in tight spaces. But if you manage resources well, he's basically a one-person army with minimal babysitting required. Moto version 2 keeps the minion master fans happy. His bomb minions create massive area of effect bursts, making crowd control a breeze, and early progression is smooth thanks to easy gearing. Minion A, I still isn't perfect, and losing minions mid-combo hurts damage, but overall he's a fun, visually satisfying pick who makes you feel like a demolition expert. Finally, Rihan version 2 takes the rage-fueled melee chaos of previous seasons and refines it beautifully. The Ancestor Spirit clone mirrors your skills, doubling your bursts and smoothing out hybrid area of effect damage. Mistimed attacks can leave him vulnerable, and mastering the rhythm of rage spikes is essential, but in the right hands, he's a melee juggernaut that's as rewarding to play as he is powerful. A tier characters aren't just strong, they make you look and feel good while dominating the battlefield. Consistent, versatile, and packed with fun mechanics, these builds are the ones you'll come back to over and over, season after season. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Bing 2, Fia 3, Erica 1, Rosa 2, Iris 2, and Gemma 3. Ever notice how some characters just feel broken in the best way possible? Welcome to the S tier of Torchlight Infinite. The meta-defining picks that make you look like a pro, even if you're just waking up from a nap. These are the characters that not only clear content quickly, but also dominate bosses without breaking a sweat, if you know what you're doing. Let's start with Bing version 2, the newly buffed bomb expert everyone's been talking about. With spellburst synergy and pet support, his clear speeds are insane, and boss fights feel like fireworks shows. Flexible builds, whether you're rocking Nova, projectile, or trap setups, let him shine across nearly every map tier. The downside, he's expensive. Popularity drives gear prices through the roof, and early acts feel weak without key spellburst or energy regen items. Still, once you hit the right gear, Bing 2 is basically a walking nuke. Next up, Fia version 3, the Blessing to Damage Queen. Converting blessings into massive erosion bursts gives her some of the best scaling in the game, and she can obliterate single targets or clear waves faster than most players can react. Candle removal nerfs hurt her sustain, so timing and buff management are essential. But if you master her, she rewards you with some of the most satisfying burst damage in Torchlight Infinite. Erica version 1 is the embodiment of fast and flashy. Dual blade multi-strike combat gives her insane mobility and clear speed, making her both fun and efficient. She's a cheap starter that transitions surprisingly well to endgame content. That said, she does need expensive gear to hit peak damage, and her bossing isn't quite as consistent as her lightning variant. Still, she's a blast to play and feels like a hurricane tearing through mobs. Rosa version 2 brings the tanky hybrid vibes. High sustain, solid block potential, and stats that let her survive under pressure make her a safe pick for any boss. Early leveling can feel a little slow until her talents click together, and min-maxing her aura requires investment. But once you hit synergy, she's Palpatia Fortress that can both soak damage and deal respectable output. Then we have Iris version 2, the Spirit Magi powerhouse. Minions and offense blend perfectly, making her one of the safest endgame farmers around. Her minion damage scales exceptionally well in high tier content, making her both durable and lethal. Mapping speed can be a little slower thanks to mobility limits, and proper positioning is critical to keep minions effective, but she's rock solid when handled right. What makes S tier characters so fun is that they reward both skill and planning. Bing 2 gives you explosive versatility, Fia 3 delivers insane burst if your timing is flawless, and Erica 1 makes speed and mobility feel overpowered. Meanwhile, Rosa 2 and Iris 2 bring that tanky, dependable side that lets you dive into danger without panic. The meta isn't just about raw damage, it's about reliability. S tier picks dominate because they consistently perform under pressure. You rarely feel like you're fighting the character itself, and more like the battlefield is finally bending to your will. That satisfaction, priceless. Even though they shine, these characters aren't completely effortless. Gear costs, timing mechanics, and positioning still matter. You can't just throw them in and expect perfection. S tier demands attention, skill, and investment. But for players willing to put in the effort, they feel unstoppable. Another thing about S tier, flexibility. Many of these characters can fit multiple roles depending on party composition or map needs. Want to burst a boss? Fia 3 or Bing 2. Need safe farming and solid support? Iris 2 or Rosa 2. Want mobility and solo clear speed? Erica 1. Whatever the challenge, there's an S tier hero built for it. At the end of the day, these picks define what it means to play Torchlight Infinite at peak performance. They're fun, they're flashy, and most importantly, they make you feel like a total legend when everything clicks. Playing S tier characters isn't just about winning, it's about feeling unstoppable while doing it. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.